Earth signs. Last reading, you guys got played because I was in the library and they were trying to close up and they did not care that I was in the middle of a reading. So, my apologies. I hope you will accept a reading from me now. I'm going to do an extended for you all just to give you some insight about what themes you will be contending with this Cancer season. So, I'm back. I'm ready to give you a reading. Let's jump right in. I'm feeling like the Orishas today will be the best deck for the earth signs. You all know slow and steady progress the best. You know security and structure the best out of all of the elements. And you also know what it means to gain wisdom over an extended period of time. Earth is not something that changes quickly. It takes quite a while for the shape or the structure of our earth to change. And that's similar to you all earth signs. Sometimes you get the reputation of being stubborn, but it's really just because you need to see the success or the validity of something over time. You are building something that lasts, earth signs. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get a couple of theme cards for you, earth signs, for Cancer season. All right, so ooh, okay. So we got three cards. The first one is 11th house, which deals with collaboration, membership, and networks. The 11th house is also where our dreams and aspirations live. We got Sagittarius, which is all about adventurous, free, and philosophical. So perhaps you're feeling a little more free, a little more playful, a little more adventurous, a little more like higher thinking in your groups, your social groups, and the groups that you belong to, like the places that you are a holder of membership. And then last but not least, we got 10th house, which is career, public life, and what is that? Reputation. So the 10th house is the most public part of our birth chart. It is what we're known for. It is the house that deals with fame. So when it comes to our groups, our collaborative groups, our social groups, our network, our dreams and aspirations in the 11th house, our 10th house is the house where we sort of build that reputation and we build the image that belongs into the groups in the 11th house. So, 10th house identity, 11th house membership, and then we got Venus at the bottom of the deck here, which is all about beauty, what is it? Artistry and love. So, Venus is also a social planet. Venus likes to like host parties, create harmony, things like that. So Venus is at the bottom of the deck. That is just the energy that already existed before the start of Cancer season for you all earth signs. So if you are a lovely Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, this reading is for you. And I'm going to go ahead and pull just a few cards for you all to give you the overall energies and themes that you may come to experience over the course of Cancer season. All right, we already got two popped out. I barely even shuffled the deck. In fact, three cards popped out thus far. And these are all, remember, again, related to the 11th house, the sign of Sagittarius, which is all about adventure, freedom, and philosophy, and the 10th house, which deals with career, reputation, and public life. So the first three cards that I've pulled, I'm just going to, ooh, okay, all right. Just gonna pull a few more, as I said, earth signs, and get your overall energy for Cancer season. So what else will my lovely earth signs, what else will they be dealing with, or what else do they need to know for Cancer season? Thank you, Spirit. All right. And last but not least, is there anything else that my earth signs need to know for Cancer season? Cool. All right, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Air. So Seven of Air deals with having doubtful or fearful thinking. So perhaps you're coming into Cancer season after having dealt with some mental anguish or just like mental stress, a little bit of perhaps challenging you, perhaps thoughts that challenge the way that you view yourself, the way that you view your confidence. Perhaps there was a little bit of confusion or even a little bit of lying, cheating, and stealing, because that also has to do with the Seven of Air. but I don't like to make assumptions. So let's get into the reading and see what you need to know for Cancer season, Earth signs. All right, this is such a lovely reading so far. Lots of love going on. You came into the reading with Venus at the bottom of the deck for your astro alignment, and then there's also plenty of love here. So let's dive in. We're starting off with Pombagira. Pombagira is a, and also my deck is in Spanish, so she may have another name in the English deck. But in this deck of the Orishas, Pomba is kind of like the embodiment of romantic love. She is the image of the law of attraction. So you may think of her as the Page of Cups, for example, in the mainstream tarot. But Pomba really is here to encourage you to embody the kind of love that you wish to receive and experience in your everyday life. So as you can see, she's kind of stepping out of a heart made of flowers. So she's stepping out of that. And she's literally in her own little world back here with the light pink. She's in her own little world where she's completely engulfed and immersed in the kind of love, romance, perhaps even eroticism that she wants to experience. And when she chooses to open up that heart made of flowers, she's stepping into the 3D world where the rest of us exist and bringing all that magic with her. So this Cancer season, you're going to be experiencing whatever love and romantic or attraction energy that you are personally creating in your inner self. You're going to see that come to fruition in the 3D world. I love that for you, Earth signs. Um, she's accompanied by the Earth Messenger, and the Earth Messenger really is a character that is depicted by a gnome because gnomes are immortal. If you notice gnomes, they're usually made of like plastic or porcelain, and they sit in our yards and they just observe life as it happens, right? But they're also known for like warding off bad spirits. They're known for helping nurture plants that are growing in the gardens or the yards where they typically exist. And the Earth Messenger in particular, he's here to remind us that the abundance that we materialize, that we can hold in our hand, it all starts within ourselves. So, in order for us to really enjoy and experience abundance and wealth in our daily lives, we have to know that that abundance and wealth exists within us. Many of us, as people of color specifically, as women specifically, as people who identify as women, people who have uteruses, or people who were born with female parts, many of us carry generational beliefs and trauma that are rooted in a lack mindset. So even though we are abundance, we are wealth, we are the literal fruit of the earth, just like this plant here, we carry sometimes generational wounds based on historical experiences that we as people of color or as women or as people with uteruses have had over centuries. And those experiences have taught us over time that we're not worthy. Our work is not worth what we want to charge. We need to overgive in love. We need to overcompensate. And we don't need to do any of that. All of those are simply old manifestations that we've carried with us that can create experiences in our present life where we don't feel like we don't have enough resources, we don't have enough friends, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough love. But all of those resources that we want or that we feel like we don't have enough of, they all start within. All we have to do is believe. Literally, it starts with belief in the mind. If you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Earth signs, excuse me. I'm thinking of air because mental energy and swords, air energy, is all about the air signs. The Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra, they rule that domain. But you, Earth signs, you rule the material domain. So the Earth Messenger is here to remind you that, hey, if you want love, you can have it, babe. But you have to have the belief that you have it first. You have to embody what you want first. That's how you attract it. Okay? So moving forward, we have fairies and sylphs. These are protectors of mental energy. So fairies and sylphs are here to help us bring our mental energy and beliefs down from the cosmos into the material plane. So as you can see, there's a ring of golden stars around this fairy, and excuse me, that symbolizes sort of like divine protection around whatever she is thinking. Whatever her imagination creates is divinely blessed and protected. I know that I'm using language that can be related very much to like religious or spiritual practices. And it just so happens, like I'm using the language that matches the energy of this deck. This deck is based on deities, Yoruba deities. And I don't know why, but this card was just face up here. So I'm going to talk about this. This is just face up. I didn't pull it. So interesting. But the fairies and sylphs are really reminders that whatever we imagine, when we allow our imagination to be inspired by unconditional love, by trust, by high vibrational positive qualities, that is when we can really bring positivity down into our 3D experience. So let me get to this 10 of fire really quick because it's not part of your spread, but it was literally like face up on top of the deck here, so I have to talk about it. Clearly, Spirit sent it to Earth signs for a reason. The 10 of fire, this is 10 of wands energy. Fire and wands are the same exact element. And the 10 of wands indicates a burden or a test. So this guy, he has traveled through the journey of fire. So he's been following his heart. He has confronted, he's crossed the 4 of fire. What is that? A rite of passage. He's done his rite of passage. He's confronted challenge. He has received blessings and then figured out how to use those blessings even despite doubting himself. And now he's at the final test. The 10 is a number of completion. So he's facing his final test that has to do with following his passion and allowing himself to be heart-centered. So what I'm getting from this is that perhaps you have been trying, Earth signs, to embody the love that you want. Perhaps you have been trying to go on dates. You've been putting yourself in places where you are hoping to attract a counterpart, perhaps even a divine counterpart. There's very much like divine energy, like the universe conspired to make this love happen. But it's been challenging and it's felt hot and exhausting, okay? I'm definitely getting that. I can feel the exhaustion almost from this card. But what I'll say about this is you are protected and you have the reserves. You have the fuel to get through this final test. And this does actually feel like a final test. When I'm relating it back to the first 3 cards that were pulled, 11th house, Sagittarius, and 10th house, it's giving that you all are being challenged to be adventurous in the way you approach your career, in the way that you perceive other people to see you in your public life. And you're also being challenged to perhaps branch out of your networks, okay? As you can see, these coals at the bottom of this card are on fire, or they're very hot, but he's walking on them. He's actually stepping on the coals. He's not stepping around them. So Earth signs, I would love for you to embody fire energy, Sagittarius energy. Point your arrow, you in your mind's eye, see where you would like your arrow to be pointed, and trust that when you release your arrow, it's going to hit that divine counterpart. It's kind of like Cupid, right? Cupid with the arrows. That's the image that's coming to mind right now. Yeah, perhaps you'll see imagery of Cupid, cherubs, angels that make divine love happen. I definitely, perhaps you'll see some imagery like that, and that can just be a reminder for you that you are protected and energized and encouraged in this process for finding love, if that's what you're looking for. It could also be that this is a career-related situation and you're hoping to attract wealth into your life. Love and money are very similar energies because we have to embody them before we can have them. It's very similar to basically any other energy. Everything is energy, all right? So back to your spread. Karma is here. Your imagination and the things that you're currently attracting in your daily life, these are gifts, karmic gifts. And when I say karmic gifts, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily positive. Perhaps you could be reaping some karma from a relationship that didn't go well because of an action that you took, Earth signs. Or on the other hand, perhaps you're finally receiving love that you've been wanting but just haven't had access to because perhaps there just wasn't anyone that was sparking your trust, that was sparking your interest, or it's just that season for you, babe. So karma is here to bring the gifts that you have been working toward, but also that your ancestors and that your angels and your spirit guides have been putting in your path for you to find. And so that karma is going to, wow, earth signs. So this karmic gift here, unfortunately, I need to cover the female counterpart, but she is on the card. It's just that YouTube doesn't play about nudity. But the Six of Earth is a gift from the universe, and it is something that you worked for, earth signs. So perhaps you have been on journeys in love or in career where you just haven't been able to find that person who feels like your counterpart. And what I'm getting from these two cards is that the universe is gifting you with a material blessing, something you can touch in the form of a person. So you're going to be finding someone who, when you look at them, when you talk to them, when you hear their voice, it's like you're hearing and feeling a part of yourself that you just haven't been able to access in the material world yet. And this is such a beautiful blessing for you, earth signs, in the season, in Cancer season. Um, you also got the Four of Air and the Six of Air. I love when two sixes show up in tarot because one of my favorite readers, Minnow Pond, he always, Chris Reck of Minnow Pond Tarot, he always says that two sixes indicate, because six is a number of a gift or a blessing, so it kind of indicates that you're like perfectly on track. I said what I said, you're going to receive this blessing. And the Four of Air and the Six of Air popping up suggests that it's been very difficult for you, earth signs, in maybe in the last relationship or career experience that you had. And in this sun, we can see that the sun is red. It's like setting. This guy is being attacked by these vultures. He's completely like he's victimized. So all he can do is relax his mind. He cannot stress out because stressing is only going to make the situation worse. It's already bad as it is. And yet, you've been through this and you survived. You survived, earth signs. I'm very proud of you because I can tell that it's just been a really difficult and exhausting experience, perhaps in this last few months or maybe in this last year. But you're ready to move on. You're ready to move across the choppy waters. I know that everyone is getting the Six of Air or Six of Swords in readings lately. And if you check the last reading where you guys got played, you definitely got this card as well. It just looked a little different because it was from the Pulp Girls Tarot. But Six of Air suggests that you have accomplished everything that you can on this side of land. So now it's time for you to cross over. It's time for you to trust. It's time for you to feel. Water is about emotions. It's time for you to trust that the winds of change are going to lead you to greener pastures. There's nothing else left for you there's no other mountains left for you to cross or to achieve on this side. So now you're getting a breath of fresh air and you're moving into love. That's not love. And you're moving into love because you are receiving this material blessing from the universe. All right, earth signs. So the test is almost over. You're almost over this test. All you need to do is trust and embody the energy that you wish to experience in love or in career. Last but not least, for your spread, earth signs, we have Four of Water, which is all about going back, going inward, reflecting. Perhaps you've been manifesting or you've been hoping for something that just hasn't been materializing for you. And it seems that the reason why you've been manifesting things that haven't been resonating with you, or you've been coming across relationships, connections, and experiences that haven't necessarily resonated with the feeling that you're trying to embody, it's because you're not asking for it. You're not asking for it directly. So what are ways that you can kind of go back into your emotions? What do your emotions tell you that you want or need, earth signs? What does your nervous system feel when you think about the love that you want? When your nervous system is calm, what words come to you that you can ask for, that you can use to ask for that love or that feeling in your career? Keep in mind that this bird is in a cage and all the doors are open. but she's not flying out and she's not singing her song. So it's kind of like um, self arrested development. Like you're putting your own self in a state of arrested development because perhaps you're afraid to ask for what you want. Perhaps you don't know what you want. You don't have the vocabulary to ask for what you want. So remember that it's very important to sit with your feelings and allow your emotions to teach you. If you feel nervous, or if you feel pain, or if you feel sad, or if you feel frustration when you think about romance or when you think about your ideal career, what are those emotions coming to teach you? Are they coming to teach you that perhaps this field, this industry is not for you? Are they coming to teach you that perhaps this person or that relationship type is not for you? Um, Perhaps marriage isn't, the aspiration, or perhaps, the nuclear family is not the aspiration. Perhaps that group or that sorority or fraternity or whatever that you want to be a part of so badly in your 11th house, perhaps that's not the vibes for you. So allow yourself to sit and really think about what would make me feel prosperous, what would make me feel green, like I'm growing, okay? And then you can ask for it. You can free yourself from this mental cage, all right? Also, remember what I'm getting is that you deserve whatever you're asking for, and you can have it. The universe is ready to give you this blessing, but you have to know that you're worthy of it first, okay? You have to know that. No one else can tell you that, Earth signs. I really just want to let you look at the images on these three cards, these first three cards that came out at the beginning of your reading, because I really want you to see the prosperity that's indicated in these cards. Look at all that gold. Look at all that pink and red to symbolize the passion. Look at the stars. Look at the fairies that are listening to what you have to what you're asking for, and they're taking it up to the divine, and they're asking for that for you. They're carrying your message for you. So make your wish, Earth signs, because Cancer season is ready to bless you. All right? I wish you the best. Thank you for your patience, and happy Cancer season.